everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Radium Girls. So before we get into today's story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channels, and be sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss when we upload. If you'd like to send us topics that you'd want us to cover or send us a question you'd like for us to answer, leave a comment down below for our YouTube listeners or head to our Facebook page where you can send us a message. Stay tuned for the end of the episode for today's question. So today we are, as you can tell, covering the Waco Siege. And speaking of like last week's being close to home, this one was very close to home for me.
Tell us why.
Well, I live like 15 minutes away from when it happened. I was like 2 or something.
Yeah, we are close personal friends. We joke to Valerie about that all the time, like talking about how the guy that we're gonna discuss is her father.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, yeah, that's my dad. You can see me running around over there. So, yeah, let's find out what happened.
Yeah, it's not a story to joke about, but it's funny that Val was there when it happened.
Yeah, I know. It's too real.
Yeah. So today we're talking about David Koresh. He was born Vernon Wayne Howell on August 17th, 1959 in Houston, Texas, to a 14-year-old single mother, Bonnie Sue, and father, Bobby Wayne Howell. Before Koresh was born, his father met another teenage girl and abandoned Bonnie Sue, who began cohabitating with a violent alcoholic. In 1963, Koresh's mother left with her boyfriend and placed her 4-year-old son in the care of his maternal grandmother, Earlene Clark. His mother returned when he was 7 after marriage to a carpenter named Roy Haldeman.
When he was 19 years old, Koresh had an illegal sexual relationship with a 15-year-old girl who became pregnant. He claimed to have become a born-again Christian in the Southern Baptist Church and soon joined his mother's denomination, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. There, Koresh became infatuated with the pastor's daughter, and while praying for guidance, he opened his eyes and allegedly found the Bible open at Isaiah 34:16. Stating that none should want for her mate. Convinced this was a sign from God, Koresh approached the pastor and told him that God wanted him to have his daughter for a wife. The pastor threw him out, and when he continued to persist with his pursuit of the daughter, he was expelled from the congregation.
Sometime during the next couple of years, Koresh went to Hollywood to become a rock star, but nothing came of it. Instead, in 1981, he went to Waco, Texas, where he joined the Branch Davidians, a religious sect which in 1935 had settled 10 miles outside of Waco. At one time, it had more than 1,400 members. Koresh had an affair with then-prophetess Lois Roden, who was in her late 60s. The two traveled to Israel together. When Lois Roden died, a power struggle began between Koresh and Lois Roden's son, George.
For a short time, Koresh retreated with his followers to Palestine, Texas.
Wow.
What?
It was close for me, too. Like, you have ties to the story, and so do I. I lived, I guess not quite in Palestine, but about 15 miles from Palestine.
Oh,
yeah,
we're both 15 minutes away.
Oh, wow. It's actually only about 30 to 45 minutes from me now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Ooh.
Yep. So,
too close.
We both got ties to this story.
Yeah.
We may have some more. We'll find out.
According to one version, Roden, resentful of Koresh's power over the Davidians, had challenged Koresh, saying that whoever could resurrect the dead was the true leader. George told the press he had exhumed a body only because he had been moving the community cemetery. While George prayed over the body of Anna Hughes, who had died 2 decades earlier, Koresh reported George to the McLennan County Sheriff's Office for corpse abuse. The police told Koresh that he needed evidence to back up his accusation.
On November 3rd, 1987, Koresh and 7 followers returned to Mount Carmel, heavily armed and wearing camouflage clothing. They stealthily entered the compound, allegedly to obtain a photograph. However, they did not bring a camera, but carried weapons and a map of the grounds with positions to occupy. They found George crouched behind a tree with an Uzi submachine gun, to which a gun battle ensued on for several minutes. During the gunfight, George was shot in the chest and hands, and Koresh and his followers went on to trial for attempted murder. The 7 were acquitted and a mistrial was declared in Koresh's case. Koresh had told the jury he and his men went to Mount Carmel to find evidence of a corpse abused by Roden, and their shots were aimed at a tree.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So how did he get, gunshots in his chest and his hands?
Right. I don't know. He just happened to be standing there.
Yeah.
Okay. By 1990, Koresh had become the leader of the Branch Davidians and legally changed his name for publicity and business purposes. Koresh took several wives at Mount Carmel and fathered at least 12 children from these women, several of whom were as young as 12 or 13 when they became pregnant. That's nasty.
It's nasty. How old is he by this time? He was born in, I'm trying to remember, 59, so...
And it was 1990.
Hold on. 39?
Is there... Ew.
Yeah, something like
Nasty.
That. That's horrible. I'm sorry if my math is incorrect.
Don't get me trying to double check. Koresh exercised his new authority by taking several spiritual wives from among the group's unmarried members. And in 1989, he asserted that he was the perfect mate for all female members and confided to the Davidians his intention to create a new lineage of children who he believed would eventually rule the world.
So you could be one of those children?
I probably am. Mom?
Because several of Koresh's spiritual wives were teenagers, the community was accused of child abuse by former member and anti-cult activists. There is also evidence that Koresh may have harshly disciplined some of the 100 or so Branch Davidians living inside the compound, particularly his children. A central aspect of Koresh's religious teachings was his assertion that the apocalyptic events predicted in the Bible's book of Revelation were imminent, making it necessary. He made the Davidians stockpile weapons and explosives in preparation. So we're going to give you a little timeline of how the next period of time plays out.
Yeah. Sunday, February 28th, 1993. At about 9:30 a.m., agents of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms attempt to execute arrest and search warrants against David Koresh and the Branch Davidian compound. Gunfire erupts. 4 ATF agents were killed and 16 were wounded. An undetermined number of Davidians are killed and injured. Within a few hours, the FBI becomes the lead agency for resolving the standoff. Koresh discloses that he has been wounded in the hip and left wrist. Ouch. Koresh is allowed to broadcast his religious teachings on Dallas radio KRLD and does a CNN telephone interview. Michael Schroeder, a Branch Davidian, is killed while he tries to return to the main building. Texas Rangers begin an investigation but are barred by the FBI from continuing.
Monday, March 1st, negotiations continue, and over the course of the day, 10 children are sent out of the compound. By 5 p.m., the FBI takes control with a fully functioning command post. FBI agents in armored vehicles deploy to the compound's perimeter. Koresh becomes extremely agitated when the armored vehicles move closer and when his phone line is cut except for outgoing calls to the negotiators. At least twice, Koresh says suicide is not being contemplated. Tuesday, March 2nd. Into the early morning hours, the negotiations continue. Koresh makes a 1-hour audio tape of his religious teachings, adding a promise to surrender so long as his tape is nationally broadcasted. At 1:30 p.m., the tape is broadcast over the Christian Broadcasting Network. At 5:58 p.m., the word is relayed to negotiations from Koresh that God had spoken to him and had told him to wait.
Friday, March 5th, 9-year-old Heather Jones leaves a compound wearing a note pinned to her jacket on which her mother says that once the children are out, the adults will die. Koresh and his top aide, Steve Schneider, deny they are contemplating suicide. The FBI concludes that the group has a 1-year supply of food, including abundant MREs. Koresh continues preaching and threatening violence. On Sunday, March 7th, talks with Koresh and others inside the compound go round in circles. The FBI refuses to deliver milk for the children unless more of them are released. Koresh says that all the children left in the compound are his biological descendants, which is like 50. And me too.
Val got out.
Yeah, I got out safely, obviously.
Tuesday, March 9th. At 2:15 a.m., the electricity of the compound is shut off. HRT members see weapons in the windows and firing ports being cut out of plywood and placed in the windows. Wednesday, March 10th. Electricity is temporarily cut off again. 4.5 hours of negotiations yield no progress. Sunday, March 14th. At nightfall, the FBI begins to illuminate the compound with bright lights to disrupt sleep, to put additional pressure on those inside, and to increase the safety of the HRT.
Thursday, March 18th, the FBI broadcasts a message to those in the compound over a loudspeaker saying they will be treated fairly if they come out. Sunday, March 21st, in the evening hours, the FBI begins playing very loud music, including Tibetan chants over the loudspeaker system. At 11:35 p.m., Koresh says, because of the loud music, nobody is coming out. A short while later, the loudspeaker system malfunctions and the night ends quietly.
Malfunction?
You're right?
Okay.
Thursday, March 25th, my birthday.
Ooh. So Val turns how old? 2?
I was 2 here. We celebrated. I left the compound. An FBI ultimatum. 10 to 20 people must leave by 4 p.m. I was one of them. Or some action will be taken. At 4 p.m., armored vehicles move into the compound and remove motorcycles and go-karts. Okay.
You didn't get to experience all that, Val.
No, I was too young.
Sorry. Sorry about it. Friday, March 26th. Lights, music, and helicopter activity occur throughout the night. FBI issues another ultimatum, and armored vehicles begin clearing the front side of the compound. Sunday, March 28th. Another FBI ultimatum. At 12:26 p.m., Koresh says that he had no intention to die and he was waiting for the word from God. A videotape sent out from the compound shows 19 children looking tired but healthy. Sunday, April 4th. The lawyers meet again with Koresh and reiterate that everyone will come out after Passover. Monday, April 5th. Davidians observe Passover. Tuesday, April 6th. Despite complaints, the FBI continues broadcasting music throughout the night.
Monday, April 19th at 5:59 a.m., Sage telephones the Davidians, notifying them of imminent tear gas assault. Sage reads a message over the loudspeaker, advising the Davidians that they are under arrest and should come out. At 6:02 a.m., 2 FBI combat engineering vehicles, or CEVs, begin inserting gas into the compound through spray nozzles attached to a boom. At 6:04 a.m., the Davidians start shooting, and the FBI began to deploy Bradley vehicles to insert ferret rounds through the windows.
At 6:31, the HRT reports that the entire building is being gassed. At 7:30, a CEV breaches the front side of the building on the first floor as it injects gas, and at 7:58 a.m., gas is inserted in the second floor of the back right corner of the building. At 12:07 p.m., the Davidians start simultaneous fires at 3 or more different locations within the compound. An HRT observer reports seeing a male starting a fire in the front of the building. 9 Davidians flee the compound and are arrested. At about 12:25 p.m., the FBI hears systematic gunfire coming from the compound, leaving several agents the impression that the Davidians are either killing themselves or each other. At 12:41, firefighting efforts begin.
Koresh and at least 75 of his followers, including 25 children, died during the federal government's second disastrous assault on Mount Carmel. It's a lot of children. But probably
sad.
all his, except for me.
Except for you. You got out.
The FBI and the Justice Department maintain that there is conclusive evidence that the Branch Davidian members ignited the fire, citing an eyewitness account and various forensic data. Of the gunfire reported during the fire, the government argued that the Davidians were either killing each other as part of a suicide pact or were killing dissenters who attempted to escape the Koresh-ordered suicide by fire. In 1999, the FBI admitted they used tear gas grenades in the assault, which have been known to cause fires because of their flammable properties.
David and his deputy, Steve Schneider, were found with fatal wounds to their heads, suggesting suicide or murder-suicide. David had told the mothers to take all the children into the vault, which was the bottom of the 4-story tower. Davidians had a bunker that they practiced going into, in the event that the end of the world was coming, a former Davidian said. The remains of 18 children and 9 women were later found inside this bunker vault. 2 of those women were pregnant. The majority had died of smoke inhalation. Those inside say the tanks destroyed the interior staircases, trapping many on the second floor. Out of the 76 that were still there, including the 25 women and David Koresh himself, only 9 people survived.
And a lot of those were children.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sad.
Very sad.
A total of 21 children and 14 adults came out as a result of negotiations. So at least some people got out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wasn't like holding them hostage, really. Some people say he was, but I don't know. I guess it's, you know, was it he say, her say? Was
He
it?
say, she say.
He say, she say. Okay. There are no signs of the compound anymore. The only remnant is a hole, formerly a swimming pool, that was used as a bunker during the 51-day siege. A little chapel has been built out by the road by their supporters, incorporating a museum of Davidian history that censures everyone for the bloodshed. So that's the story of the 51-day siege at Waco.
Mm-hmm.
So the last time I went to Waco, I actually went there to the museum in the little compound. And let me tell you, it's a little creepy to get there.
Oh, yeah?
And I was by myself. And I was on my way over there. And you go, like, through these, like, rock roads and, like, these back roads. And it's so scary. And you go on this little road and you pass like this community, or not community, like a community gate, you know, that shuts. Mm-hmm. I saw it and it said like to turn there, and I was like, like, I don't know.
Is she about to get locked in?
Yeah, they're about to lock me in here. So I passed it up.
She's home.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I was home yet or not. I don't remember it. It's not there no more. So I'll pass it up, and then like I kind of see other people turning in there. So I'm like, okay, you know, I turn around and I finally go in there, and you go like around this road, and there's like other buildings there and like memorials and stuff like that. But yeah, there's only like a little chapel back there that's a museum, but I didn't know it's like a museum. And they have that bunker there, and it's like this is where all like the women and children died and stuff like that. Yeah. And you can see the pool back there. Yeah, it's really weird.
Wow, that's creepy.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of random people there. And I think the people that live there, like on that little compound area, I think they do like tours and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was weird.
I wonder if any of them are like, you know, one of the 21 children, or
oh yeah, I don't know.
Any of the adults that got out.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't long ago. I mean,
no, it wasn't that long ago.
You were a kid.
Yeah.
Young, but still.
I know. I want to know like what we were doing when that was going down. I wonder if like we saw like the fire or anything.
Yeah, ask your mom.
I know. Yeah, I should, because we were not that far.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
I know.
And another tie that we have is that Koresh, where he was buried.
Yeah.
So you want to tell him about that?
So he's actually buried here in Tyler. He's in an unmarked grave somewhere around here in Tyler, which is so crazy. Like, he has family over here.
Mm-hmm. It's just weird.
I know. Like, he went from your place to my place, and then now he's back at our place.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Very curious to know exactly where he's buried.
I know. I kind of want to see.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not cool.
I mean, it wasn't like that bad of a thing. You know, it's like, you know, like he said, she said thing.
Yeah, but
like,
it was still very cultish.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, they killed a bunch of children.
Yeah.
The FBI or whoever it was. Yeah. Anyway, like I feel like they could have done better with negotiating. I don't think they needed to go that extreme and that far.
Yeah. Especially
with all the children, like all that light, music, guns, everything. Like they didn't need to be doing that for those children. And a lot of those, most of those children probably died.
Yeah, most of them did.
And they're not even their fault. They're over there confused. And
that's so sad.
Yeah.
And the women and children hid in the swimming pool and
well, the little bunker.
The bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then got trapped and died.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And they're pregnant and I don't know. It's just, and then like they have like who shot first and stuff. And then like that led to all this. But I'm gonna say the FBI did it. Of course they're gonna deny that they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were prepared for a fight, so I don't know.
It's just a crazy story, all in all. I mean, you've got like the cult side of things, and then you have the government side of things.
Yeah, I mean, this was 51 days, so they were probably tired and
Yeah. Just ready, like,
yeah.
sorry.
Like, just take them out.
Sorry about it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And then how he died, like either
Murder,
killed
suicide,
or murder-suicide.
Yeah. Like, he was either...
Yeah. Either suicide or murder-suicide.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's a wild story.
Nice. Well, we have a question for today. And if you had to choose to live without one of your senses, which one would you give up?
Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you go ahead. I'm going to think about it.
Okay. So, fun fact about me, I lost my sense of smell for like 10 years.
I was going to say because of COVID.
No, gosh, this is way before COVID.
You didn't even have COVID, though?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope. Knock on wood.
Right.
Been blessed to not have
Yeah, I haven't either, so.
COVID that I'm aware of. Yeah. But yeah, I like just one day was driving out, I think it was like 16, 17, I just got my license, well, not 17, but still.
Yeah.
I had recently got my license, and I was driving my friend, we were headed to the town next to my hometown, and we had the windows rolled down, it was warm, it was, August, September, so it was nice outside.
Yeah.
But they were doing road construction, and they had just laid down fresh tar, and my friend was like, oh my God, roll the windows up, like the smells, it's just horrible. And I was like, what? I couldn't smell it. I couldn't smell the tar at all. And I was like, I don't know what? And that's when I first realized that I couldn't smell. And I don't know how long before that I couldn't smell.
Dang, you didn't even notice.
I didn't notice. Like, it wasn't...
That's weird.
Yeah, because, you're around... Especially, like, when you go into your own house, you don't smell the way your own house smells. Or if you're gone for the weekend, you may smell it for a little bit, but then it just dissipates and you don't smell it anymore.
But what about food and stuff?
I just didn't pay attention. I was, I was a teenager. I was worried about, I'm not worried about anything, actually, I was car hopping at Sonic, so I was...
Oh, because it's probably Sonic that did it.
I was just young and didn't really care, and so after her, like, bringing that to my attention is when I started doing tests, and I'll never forget my uncle. I don't remember what it was. It was some sort of, like, pepper, something that you season with. And he was like, this is the ultimate smell test. And he, like, if you smell this, then you can smell. But if you can't smell this, then you really can't smell. And he brought it up to me, and I couldn't smell it. And it was like, yeah, it set in. And it wasn't until I got pregnant with my son that it started coming back. So
that's weird.
I guess it was less than 10 years, because I got pregnant with him. I was 24 or 25.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about 16 when that happened.
Wow.
So I would lose my sense of smell again, because I've already done it.
What, like, was allergies, sinuses? I don't know.
I did go to an ENT.
They didn't say anything. They don't know. Just random. The heck.
Oops. I really don't remember. That was so long ago. I don't remember what they said, but I know that they didn't really know.
Wow.
Because I had no trauma. Like, no trauma to me that happened to me at that point. And I don't know.
That's so random.
Mm-hmm. But it really didn't, like, if it affected my taste, it wasn't much. That's but weird, I do know that, like, eating spaghetti, I didn't really want spaghetti because it didn't taste right to me. Mm-hmm. And still to this day, though, things don't taste the same to me that taste like you. Like, I have weird taste in things, so I don't know if that shaped the way that I like stuff.
Yeah.
But I have really weird cravings or weird combination of foods that I like. And I don't know if that, played a part in it or whatnot. But
Patient 0 for COVID. 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Or that was more than 10 years ago.
Well, now, now it was, more than 10 years ago.
Dang. Let's see. For me, was it taste, smell, sight? What are the other ones?
Your eyes, nose, mouth, hearing, touch. So hearing, sight, smell, taste.
I'm like half deaf already, so
that's true.
I don't need that to go away completely. Because you gotta teach me sign language. Yes. So I need my sight. I need my ears. I would probably have to say smell too. And that seems like the more easier one. Because I want taste, I want touch. I feel like I'd have to let go. Even though I like smelling things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably the easiest one.
Yeah.
I think even if I didn't have to choose, I'd probably choose. I mean, if I didn't have to experience it, didn't.
Yeah.
Whatever words.
But I feel like it would mess with like your taste and stuff like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't had COVID this week.
Well, I mean, people with COVID, they lose their sense of smell, and then taste goes with that.
Yeah. So like, I wouldn't want to lose both.
Mm-hmm. But it didn't lose both for me.
Yeah, but you had something special.
I did.
We don't know what you had.
I don't know, because, I don't know. I would definitely choose smell over again, though.
Yeah.
It's like, because if you lose your sense of taste, then you have the aspect of you can eat healthy, you can eat right. You know, I'd be able to eat fish because I hate fish. I think we talked about that in a previous episode, how much I despise fish.
The way it smells, anyway.
Yeah, the way it smells. Just, ugh. So I could tolerate eating that.
That's true. I feel like I'd be so depressed, though, if I couldn't taste my food.
I'd be so depressed because I want to taste that chicken Alfredo and that chicken Parmesan.
And your drinks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my sweet tea.
Yeah, I'd be sad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sweet tea.
Mm-hmm. And you don't really lose your sense of feel, like your touch, because it's like...
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
You know, like...
You know, like when your hand goes numb or whatever and it's all tingly?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't want that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And you wouldn't be able to feel like, if you're out in the sun, just how much the sun's cooking you.
Oh, yeah.
Like how burnt you're going to get. Or if you're touching something and it's hot and you don't know, you're burning your fingers. Or it's too cold.
Yeah.
You know, like if the snow or whatever, you can't feel that sensation of, oh, I need gloves on because it's too cold.
Yeah. Oh, would you be able to feel like anything, like pressure? Like if you were carrying something, would you feel that you're carrying it?
Pressure, you just wouldn't.
So you could feel that.
I bet it would feel different.
Like if you drove a car, would you be able to feel that you're pushing the pedal?
You know what? This is a really good question because my mom.
We're getting deep again.
My mom, she has nerve damage in her legs. She can't feel you. Like,
Mom does that in her hand.
Just feel, you touch her, she can't feel.
Yeah. So does she drive?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does drive.
I'm gonna have to ask her again.
Like if she can
I know I've had this conversation with her.
Can you feel your driving? Or the pressure or something?
I think she just goes by, maybe she just goes by like the speedometer. But that is a good, yeah.
But like, is it your skin you can't feel or like the muscle? I don't know.
The sensation, the sensation of touch.
So maybe she can feel her muscle or something, you know? Or you can feel your muscle like pushing.
Mm-mm.
But that's inside.
And so are your nerves.
Oh, I was talking about like the outside. So you said sensation.
Yeah.
I was talking about the muscle. Man, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. We can ask my mom. Mama, comment down below. Let us
Someone.
know.
Someone who's numb to us.
Yes. Oh, I'd still go with smell. What would you go with? Would you go with which sense would you go with? Would you go with smell like us? Or, you know, would you prefer to not hear again?
Oh, no. No, that's scary.
We need you to hear because, you know, we're
that's true.
Podcast, you know, subscribe. But yeah, let us know in the comments. Or, you know, go to our Facebook page and drop a comment on our post or send us a message. Alright guys, well that'll do it for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed our take on the Waco Siege, and definitely leave us a comment down below, subscribe to our channel, go over to our Facebook page and send us a message. Leave us topics that you'd like for us to cover, whether you find it interesting or something that you just really want to know more information about. Or, you know,
let us know if David Koresh is your dad too.
Yeah, curious.
Do I have brothers and sisters out there? I'm just kidding. Y'all gotta come at me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's very interesting to see. I know we've got a lot of Texas listeners, so
yeah.
They're kind of spread out a little bit all over East Texas, Central Texas, and Waco's kind of central Texas. So let us know, and let us know if you've been there and what you thought of the place. You know, if you've seen it since then.
Or who started the gunfire.
Or if you remember it, like, happening in real life. I'm also curious to hear those stories.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and leave a comment down below. If you're listening from our podcast sites, make sure that you subscribe. And also, if you have a question that you'd like for us to answer, send it to us, and maybe your question will get answered in our next video. As always,
Stay curious.
All right. Cheers to speaking.
I didn't even drink it all.
Ew. That was interesting.
Ooh.